Take a look and listen to a layout with digital sound. Every engine, every house, every detail of this layout has a soundtrack. It's the kind of sound that could really raise the roof. And that's what Barry Boggs did.
I didn't have an actual room that I could put the layout in, so the only place to go was up. And in Houston, you don't have any basements, so the attic is the next best thing to place a layout in. I went ahead and actually took and floored out the attic itself, removed the structures that held parts of the roof up, if you can believe that, and then went ahead and sheetrocked and put all of the lighting in for the actual layout room here.
Every rail, every engine, and every sound on the Colorado and Western Railroad are the handiwork of Barry Boggs. This is scratch work at its finest. And Barry has the accolades to prove it. He's one of just over 200 people in the world to qualify as a master model railroader.
Many of the locomotives that I like to build are not available in GN3 commercially. So I must go ahead and, if I want the model bad enough, I'm going to have to create it myself. So what I do is try to find as many plans, models, ON3 models that I can find that are very accurate, and take the dimensions off those, especially if it's an ON3 model, multiply by 2.14 with my calculator, and that gives me the dimensions for the G-scale model.
Barry creates molds for every part he makes. When he needs another part, it's just a matter of pouring into the mold.
I pour urethane into this mold and then put it into a pressure vessel. This pressure vessel was a paint pot that I modified for use as a casting vessel. I then put the mold into the vessel, put the lid on top of it, and pressurize it to 60 psi. What the pressure does is then eliminate any small air pockets that come out into the actual casting. I can let it sit for around 10 minutes, pull the box out with the mold in it. This is the type of part that I am able to pull out of the mold itself. There's a little flashing on there, and I can clean that up with a file, and this part is virtually ready to go onto the model then. And it saves me a lot of time and effort to having to completely fabricate this particular part when I need many duplicates such as this. There's two ways to put locomotive or sound in locomotives. One, you can have an onboard sound where it's a digital soundboard that has IC chips that actually are recorded sounds of real locomotives put onto IC chips. That can be installed in the tender, and then you have magnets along the track that would trigger the exhaust, the bell and the whistle sounds. The second method I prefer to use is an off-board sound system. With off-board sound, the sound is generated in the actual control box here, sent through the rails, and then is picked up in the tender with a couple blocking capacitors to block the DC, and then sent right into the speaker. You actually hear locomotive sound being generated from this box here, so it's completely controllable. I can then start the locomotive off.
The natural sound and, of course, the painstaking detail are an important part of Barry's scratch-built trains. But the scenery is also important.
The scenery is mountain-style scenery that you would see in Colorado, thus the name Colorado and Western Railroad. What I did is use John Allen's Gore and Defeated book by Kalmbach as an inspiration to be able to create the scenery that you see here on the layout today. I do scratch build all of the trees using various methods of using dowel rods that are shaved, applying foliage into the dowel rods once it's been stained and weathered. Some of the other aspen trees are using pepper grass that I went ahead and spray painted the tops with floral spray and then painted the trunks with white paint and dotted those for the old branch structures on them. Other trees on the layout are furnace filter trees that I've taken furnace filter material, skewered them onto a stick, and then put hairspray on them and then put ground foam on top of that to actually make up an actual tree.
Through the remarkable detail in this layout, Barry Boggs has managed to combine the best of his skills and have fun at the same time.
I'm really excited about this particular hobby because it gives me a chance to do various things that I'm not doing over and over again, such as the electrical. If I want to work on the wiring one week, I can do that. If I wish to work on a locomotive for a while, I can do that. If I want to get in to do some scenery, it's possible to go in and build some more trees for the layout. There's always something different to do with the layout, which really intrigues me. I never get bored with it.